Hello everybody, my name is Igor and this is a sequel to my previous video that I created for my DzX Radial menu, a plugin for Unreal Engine. If you haven't seen this video, I strongly recommend you to, because this is the part 2 where I go over how you can create sub-menus for different stages of this Radial button. Check out my Radial menu on Unreal Market and let's dive right into how you can create submenus. First of all, I will take a little bit of time to explain what we need to do. So basically when you go to the code, we can just start building it. What is the main idea behind this plugin? Every Radial menu has two functions that needs to be used for this stage. One function is a setup that generates the different buttons 1, 2 and 0 or whatever amount of buttons you say, and then there is a destructor function that is destroying this Radial menu. So basically what we need to do, for example, if we want to call this menu and this menu is on the number 1, we need to first destroy this menu and then set up this menu so it is calling his buttons then. And then, for example, if we want to go back to this menu, we need to call like back button from this menu and destroy the shop menu and then create the main menu again. It's not completely destroying. I will show you. We will use a menu switcher, but basic things is you need to remove input from this menu with a destructor and create new inputs with the setup function for the new menu. Having this in mind, you will be able to switch between any amount of menus. You can create like 10 main menu buttons and or whatever stages you need. Okay, I will switch back to my project. This project was created in the previous video. It's just basically nothing special. You have like buttons, just close the menu, and that is everything we did in the previous video. For this now, let's go. I will open my buttons. This is the Radial button. This is just one button we created in the previous video. This is the previous menu. What we need to do here, we need to create 2 or 3 menus that will be switched. For example, this menu that we have here will be our main menu, and I will just rename it for ease of use, main menu, so we know which widget is which menu. I will duplicate this menu. This one will be the right menu. It will have only a right button. I will delete this left one. And I will create also the left menu. Let's go left. Left. Like this. Or whatever. It was easier to create with the main menu, so I have all of them. Left menu. Now I can delete this right one. Okay, basically I have those 3 menus, but what I don't need, I don't need for them to set up manually. In previous video we created, for each menu, we created a setup script that is constructed by itself. Just delete this. We will need a cloth menu without any functions inside, and I will just repeat this step for each menu I created over here. What we need to do, we need to create one a parent that will switch these menus between. So I will create one empty widget and I will create like blueprint shop menu. This is the parent of all other widgets. I will open this menu and this is where basically everything is happening. What's the main thing we need to do here? We need to implement a menu switcher. This menu allows us, I mean not menu, this object allows us to switch buttons. I will put it full screen, it's easier to work with. This menu allows us to switch between different menus, and what will they do? I will then load inside the menus I created just moments ago. First of all, I will load the main menu, Radial menu. This is on index 0. Then I will load the left menu, then the right menu. What this basically means is when I select one of those menus, it will switch between. So what we need to do first, let's go to the graphs and set up a little bit of logic. First of all, we need one function that is destructing all of our menus we have here. You can do these things with different functions. For the sake of simplicity, I will use custom menus in this example, so you can easily see what is going on in the background. I will just use these three menus, and for each I will use Destructor and another Destructor. This is not the tidiest way to do, but I will do it nevertheless. Struct Radial menus, or menu, whatever. This event is destroying everything. It's destructing all of our menus. Let's just comment it out, Destructor, and move it aside. Next thing we need to do is we need to create a function, or in this case event, that is opening each menu by itself. So what we need to do, first of all, I will create a custom event, open main menu. This event needs to do several things. First of all, it needs to open our menu switcher or change it to index where the main menu is. This is the 0 index because it's the first in the stack. So basically what we need to do is like take the switcher we have, say index, set active widget index, and set the index where your menu is. In this case it's menu 0, so 0 in this case. Then you need to set up the Radial menu, which is using this. This is the Radial menu main menu. Use the setup. And now the last thing is you need to connect this shop menu widget to interface inside that will connect the click or hover over buttons to the Radial menu. What we need to do for this implementation is to go to our class settings for our shop menu, and under interfaces find the DzX Radial menu interface and just use it. You need to compile so you have the functions from it. Lastly, what we need to do is just from our Radial menu pull up the function that is called interface set Radial menu interface and connect, because we now assigned the interface to this object that is called blueprint shop menu. It contains the interface. Now I can say, okay, this object, or get reference to itself, is taking functions, taking calls from the radial menu button and sending it to this object. So basically just connect the menu interface to this object and connect the radial menu widget to send the calls. You need to repeat this task for each of those menus. So basically I will just copy and paste the object with a little bit of change. I will say open right menu and change the index to be 1, because our right menu is on the 1, or not at all. Now it's on the 1. I will change, it's not a radial main menu, it's our right menu. Just connect those things. And one more time for the left menu. Open left menu. And this is index 2 now, because there is only 3 objects. Change the left to... Okay, now we have a call for each menu. What we need to know now, this is just calls. What we need to do now, we need to see which button is selected for each menu. How we can do this, because we connected the interface to this object or this menu. I will override the function from the menu interface that is calling click event. So go to the functions, override, and find the button click event. We don't need the hover over now, just button click. What this button click will do, it will just take the click event from the radial menu. First of all, what we need to find out is what angle is from the center of the screen, the mouse position, and then what segment is selecting. Get current segment from DzX radial menu. It needs to know which angle it is, so basically just connect one to each other. I will just connect because it's looking which menu it is, I will just forward the menu from the call. And for a tidiness, I will put this button. Okay, next thing, what we need to know is which menu is active at the moment. This button click button function is called, or event, it's called from each menu, and this object, this shop menu, doesn't know which one is active at the moment. So basically you have multiple options to do it. The simplest way is just to check if the active menu is the radial menu it's sending the functions. So basically I will just check up, for example, if main menu is equal to this one, and if it is, I will just branch out from this point, do something. For example, I will do switch on int. What we'll do, in this part of the function, we find out what index we selected. Is it number 0 for a back button? Is it number 1 for the right button? Or in this case, because it's my menu, you have the left button also. So 0, 1, 2. And this return value will give us which button it is selected. Basically, we checked this is the main menu, and now we can say what will be done for each button. I will open up like three cases because we have three buttons, and I will say, for example, for a switch on int for 0, remove from parents because it's main menu. If I say select the back button, it will close up this menu. For a number 1, it's the right button. It will say open right menu. And for a number 2, open left menu. Okay, now we can check for the other two menus. I will just copy this. I know it's not the tidiest, but it can be a little bit improved. Now, if this menu is not the active one, I will just check again if it is the left menu. And then I will just repeat this one more time. If it is the false, then this will be our right menu. Now you can create like switch for each of these functions. For example, what I will do, I will copy this part here. I will just select this node so it will be easier. So basically what I will do, you can divide this into custom functions or whatever you need. Number 0 will be open main menu, because we need to go back from the left menu back to the my menu. For number 1 will be print string. It will say by item 1. By item 2. And I can reuse this function if the other menu is in case, because one has number 1, one has number 2. Okay, now we have the basics. All we need to do now, that I forgot before, is just before we set up the menu buttons, we need to destroy them first. This is the part we said, like, before we need to set up the button, we need to destroy everything. So basically, what we'll need to do in these functions over here, I will just move this a little bit aside, extend this part, and I will say over here just struct all radial menus, just call this function that we had before over here. Let's go again, destruct, and one more time, destruct. So now menu is getting destroyed and set up again. This is looking messy, but it works. One more thing we need to do, because this menu is not called from our character. Let's go back to character, open our character, just change what widget switcher it will call. Let's say blueprint menu shop. We don't need any of these functions because this was from our previous video. We also don't need to set up our widget or interface. I will just show the cursor over here. Let's compile, save, go play, let's be. Oh, we forgot one thing. I will just go back to our menu shop. And over here, what I forgot to do is I forgot to call open main menu to set up these things when this menu is loaded or constructed. So basically what I will do is on event construct open main menu. So it needs to start with something. In this case it started without anything. Let's go play. Let's call the menu. Now we have a menu. If I select the right one, I will open the right menu. If I select this button, now I will get the message by item 1. If I select the back button, it will go back to main menu, and I can go to the left menu. I can select by item 2, or go back and close the menu completely. This is a little bit deeper and how to say a little bit more complicated thing. It's much easier to do it through some sub-functions, and you can make it tidier so you can get all elements inside of some array or just loop it through them. But the basic functionality is everything I showed you over here, and I hope you understood everything I say, and that this tutorial gave you idea how you can improve your widgets and create sub-menus with this Radial plugin. If you have any questions, just make a comment and I will try to respond in that regard. This is all. Thanks for tuning in. See you in the next one. Bye bye.